Authoritarianism in action. Donald Trump is making it clear he is planning a disgusting purge of disloyal members of the U.S. military. This is how authoritarians function. Here is Trump on his way to this totally depraved, authoritarian, dilapidated meeting of the generals and the top military officials with the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, that took place this morning. And here is Trump making it really clear, if I don't like somebody, they will be fired on the spot. This is the new loyalty test. And this is terrifying. I'll tell you why in a moment, as if you can't tell. I know you can.
I rebuilt the military in my first term. We had a great first term. We had the greatest economy ever, and it's being beaten by a lot this time. So I'm going over. I'm going to be meeting with generals and with admirals and with leaders. And if I don't like somebody, I'm going to fire him right on the spot.
Now, maybe Trump is kidding. He doesn't seem to be kidding. Trump doesn't really have a sense of humor, so I doubt that he is kidding. But we're checking off another one of these terrifying boxes. Oppression and suppression of unfriendly or serious news media that will criticize you when you deserve to be criticized. Check, we've got it. Denial of due process to people based either on political beliefs or on identity. Check, we've got it. Ignoring court orders. Check, we've got it. I could go through the entire list. Starting to propagandize about who is really an American, which categories of people are really Americans. We've got it. These are all hallmarks of authoritarianism. And now Donald Trump is doing the next one. And you know what? I don't want to say Trump's smart, and I don't think this is even Trump who is the catalyst for this. But what the administration clearly is recognizing, or they are acknowledging from history, is that often the success of authoritarians depends on the loyalty of the military. This is particularly salient for Trump because he's sending the military into all sorts of places they shouldn't be. He sent the military to LA. He sent the military to DC. We see a plan now to deploy military to Portland. When we start thinking about Trump's potential invasion of Venezuela, that's going to require the military. And so one of the things that can trip up an authoritarian is, do I have the military on my side? And one of the ways to ensure that you do is loyalty testing them, making sure you weed out those who are or might be disloyal. And in this case, disloyal might means they won't follow unlawful orders from Donald Trump or from their superiors. I wish that every single one of these generals and admirals refused to show up and said, sir, no. Trump continued saying, we need to do a great spiritizing. And this is about esprit de corps, as he likes to say.
Warrant in this address, why gather all the generals in one place for a speech?
Well, this is only an esprit de corps. Do you know what esprit de corps is? This is only a spirit. We're going to be
esprit de corps.
Talking to him. Pete Hegseth is talking right now. I'm going to have to leave because I have to talk to him. But these are our generals, our admirals, our leaders. And it's a good thing. A thing like this has never been done before because they came from all over the world. And there's a little bit of expense, not much, but there's a little expense to that. We don't like to waste it. We'd rather spend it on bullets and rockets, frankly. But this was the one time we had to do a great spiritizing. It's going to be great. I've seen it already. We have every general, every admiral. We have great people. We have our real warriors over there. And when they're not good, when we don't think they're our warriors, you know what happens? We say, you're fired. Get out. We had some real bad ones last time. You know, I rebuilt the military, the entire...
All right, and then now we get into the later part of what we saw him say earlier. It's a loyalty test, plain and simple. He is going to make it clear, and Hegseth in his speech, which is so vomitous that I'm not even going to play it. Hegseth in his speech talked about, there's no more woke, and we're not giving people promotions based on race and all of this sort of thing. It is a full-blown authoritarian military loyalty test. This is a red alert emergency. Finally, Trump asked, are you going to be doing more strikes on Venezuela? And Trump goes, well, you know what? There's no more fishing boats there because they struck a fishing boat with civilian fishermen and killed everybody.
Are you preparing to take strikes against drug gangs in Venezuela, sir?
We'll see what happens with Venezuela. Venezuela's been very dangerous with drugs and with other things. And they've been very, very dangerous. So we'll see what happens with Venezuela. We had a lot of drugs coming in through water. We call it water drugs, just a simple term.
Water drugs.
We don't have any boats on the water. There are no boats. There are no fishing boats. There are no anything. So we hit a number of boats. You probably saw that. And since we did that, we have absolutely no drugs coming into our country via water because it was lethal. And now we'll look at cartels. We're going to look very seriously at cartels.
What I'm hearing is Trump is going to look very strongly at going from bombing civilian fishermen to bombing Venezuelan farmers. That's what I'm hearing when I hear Trump talk about this stuff. We should all be terrified, and there is no end in sight.